Hey guys, it's your girl Trendy Shusha. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about postnatal depression mixed with anxiety and my journey, basically. As like I said before to you guys, I think some of you may be aware that I am a new mom. Obviously explains the postnatal depression. So yeah, let's get into it. So this video, it's very hard for me because obviously it's very personal, but at the same time it's all about growth. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I really want to do is growth. We're never too young, too old for growth. And now I'm a mum, which is so like, you know, I want to do better. Do you know what I mean? I want to do better. I want to be a better person, you know, for my daughter, for my relationship, all rounder. So I suppose let's get into it. Let's get to the beginning. So when I first found out I was pregnant and stuff like that, it was good. Everything's fine. Obviously my pregnancy was high risk and stuff, so that made me anxious even more. Like I said, I suffer from a bit of like anxiety as well, so it's hard, you know. Majority of the times you always think the worst, you know. But yeah, but coming to the end of it, like of my pregnancy, it was more anxious because obviously being a high risk pregnancy, and now the game's on. So having my daughter, right, she was a selective cesarean. So basically, in other words, she was a planned cesarean. That's what I wanted. I just want all my doctors to be there that needed to be there. I wanted to feel comfortable going in, knowing that day was going to be the day that, you know, she's going to be born.
Speak to Apple, his accounts.
So Apple, you are still inside Bobby's belly. You are here, babe. You are in here. You are in a breech position. It's gonna be fine. Like you listen to social media, you hear like your families, your friends, your work colleagues stories and stuff. You're like, oh my god. So at least that way they're preparing you for, you know, the nitty gritty of it and everything like that. Everything was going good, but when she was born, it's just like, oh my god, it's like a realization that I'm actually responsible for a little human being, even though you already know this. But it was just like, whoa. Anyway,
just gonna get some more gloves and do some more checks on that.
Okay. Don't worry.
Everything was amazing. Everything was good. Praise the Lord, thank God. But then we went back to the bay, and as we got back to the bay, I still had like the cannulas still in both hands, and stuff. So while she was in her little crib and stuff, I couldn't really like get to her. I just had a major operation, do you know what I mean? So obviously with that's overwhelming because I'm a newbie mom, do you know what I mean? So I've never experienced anything like this, you know, and stuff. So going back, like I said, we were in the bay this morning. Her ball is next ball is at 6. She's doing all right. She's okay. Depend on my partner to obviously pass her to me, like changing her. I couldn't really change her and stuff like that. And then obviously when the nurses come round, they're like, oh, are you breastfeeding? And they're trying to make you breastfeed. But then these times I had my cannulas in my hands. I'm just like, oh, can you take them out? And they said they're going to get someone and no one comes. It's just a bit like, oh, whatever. I said, you know what, this is too much. So I had a bit of that. So I was scared that like from the beginning, maybe the bond wasn't going to be there. But like I said, I was so scared of like postnatal depression, because I have gone through a little bit of depression, but it's more of an anxiety thing for me, you know. So I didn't, you know what like the triggers are, and I didn't want those triggers sorry, to come in and obviously interfere with my bond with my daughter. Anyway, now, so I was doing the best I can, like, you know, brushing her hair, all this kind of stuff. She's a good baby. All other babies are crying. She's a little bit collar. There we go. So, Madam tied her hair. Greased by her daddy. So, yeah. When we left the hospital, I was only in the hospital for 1 day. And stuff, but I'll go into that in my birthing story. Stay tuned, not today, but you know. And got home, well, I went to my mum's house. It's like a traditional thing, I suppose, like you go to your mum's house, mum dad's house, to get that extra support, you know, whatever and stuff. So basically that's what we done, and it was amazing. We slept on a blow-up bed, because I thought, you know, we're not going to be there for that long, so there's no point getting a whole bed and all that kind of stuff and whatever. Yeah, I couldn't lay on the block bed. Like, I was just crying because I was in so much pain. I had to sleep on the sofa, like sitting up. That was the only way it was comfortable for me. Harper this time, like, she wasn't sleeping on the block bed. We had like this, like, it's like a Moses basket, but it's like a rocking chair thing, not chair, but a rocking bed thing. I'll insert like a picture or something of it. And yeah, she was in that, but the only thing is it was quite deep, so I couldn't actually scoop her up and obviously pick her up and stuff like that. So while Ashley was sleeping and stuff, I had to really ask him to obviously get her. And obviously I felt bad because the little things that obviously I'm normally could do, I couldn't do. So it frustrated me a little bit from time to time, but it is what it is, you know. Obviously just having a baby, your emotions, your feelings are everywhere, you know. You're just overwhelmed with, like, you know, love for your baby, for your partner, you know, all around, you know. And you realize that, like, having your baby is just like, wow, like, because I'm like I said, I'm responsible for a little human being. So yeah, anyway, now as time went on, it was really, really good. But she was so diddy. She was 7'4", but in the pictures she looked really big, but in reality she was actually really, really small. So I was just like so scared of touching my own daughter. Like, I, you know, held her and stuff, but like washing her, like, I left it to my partner, I left it to my mom to do, and I was just like overseeing, just recording it, like literally, like, oh, love her kind of thing. And I just let everyone else like bond with her, and I'm just like, you know, understanding what's going on, like, you know, the changes. It's just like having the baby, they just say it's so quick, but then, you know, you're like, yeah, you obviously know it's gonna be, but actually seeing it and experiencing it in real life, it's just like raw. And yeah, I was really scared. And from that I was thinking, oh my god, am I not gonna build like a bond with my daughter? But I didn't say anything to anyone because I still had the bond with my daughter. I was like feeding her, like changing her balm, you know, playing with her, everything. It was just amazing, holding her, crying, everything, you know. Your hormones are everywhere, you know. But when we got home, like, we was at my mum's house for like 2 weeks it was, and then we came home. So I was really anxious about it because now we've got no additional support in the household. It's literally just me and Ash and Harps. Home, sweet home, Harper. We are home. We are home, my dear. Let you warm your bottle. And then have a little wipe down. Take you on a little tour, maybe tonight or tomorrow. And get you settled for bed. But we are home. Mum hasn't cried, she's doing good. But Dad's just moving the car. And obviously, majority of what needed to be done was for Ashley, because I just had made the operation. So I wasn't even like showering myself. I couldn't even put my knickers on properly. Everything, like, it was literally down to my partner to kind of escort me to do it. I would do it, but then obviously you feel that pain from obviously having the procedure done. Well, so that obviously wound me up a little bit. But it was obviously nothing personal to him or Harper. It was just like maybe like a pride thing, I suppose. But now looking back at it, you know, maybe it was just me being hard on myself. Bathing her, I couldn't really bath her, because obviously bath is obviously quite low, so you got to obviously squat down to obviously bath her. So my partner would wash her, and then literally I would like cream her, you know, read her books, sing her lullabies and stuff. Obviously I had to learn nursery rhymes again and all that kind of jazz, but honestly we did some improvisation with the nursery rhymes until, you know, you get it back in your head again and stuff. So yeah, it really like affected me a little bit, and it made me feel like like I said, I'm very hard on myself, so it made me feel like I was like, you know, not good enough to an extent, you know. So anyway, when Ashley went back to work, it was just me and Harps. Now I was looking forward to it, but I was so nervous because bath time, you know, mainly Ashley would like bath Harper, and sometimes like I would actually bath her, but then Ashley would be standing there, you know, supporting me and stuff like that. But now I don't have that support because now he's back at work. I do, but do you know what I mean? So morning routine was quite a struggle, and I pushed through, persevere, but then sometimes some days were harder than other, and it really wound me up. So like, because it just made me feel like I wasn't good enough. It just made me feel like the bond with my daughter was there, but like it wasn't there. So for me, before I was pregnant, like, I'm a proper clean freak, like proper clean freak, and this is something I've done for so many years. Like during the daytime I won't really clean the house, but come night time I'm moving everything. It's a proper like deep clean, and I've done it, like I said, for so many years. And obviously being pregnant and stuff like that, I was still doing it, but I was pushing myself way too much, to the fact that the next day I can't really do much because it's part of the nesting stage, I suppose. But I think I started nesting like really early, like probably around about like what, 4 months I was nesting. Like it was really bad. I was like, we have to change this, got to change that, blah blah blah. And so now having Harper, it was just like, oh my god, while she's sleeping, they say when the baby's sleeping obviously you sleep, but that's not always possible, and which it wasn't, because you have bottles, you have to obviously prep, you know, sterilize bottles, you've got to try and eat, you've got to try and do washing, you've got to try and do so much stuff. But for me, I've always been a person to try and push my boundaries to a certain degree, but I was pushing it to the fact that it was affecting me, and with it affecting me, I felt like it was affecting my bond with Harper. So we would lay in bed together, we watched TV, we read books and stuff, but I just felt like I still wasn't being the ideal mum that she deserved. And like I said, she was so little and so precious that I was so scared that I was actually gonna like hurt her. I don't know why. Because I never hurt my daughter. I never, up to now, never hurt her. But I genuinely thought like I was gonna hurt her and stuff. So I was really, really like, kind of like distant with her. Even though, you know, I was feeding her, bonding with her, everything. But I just felt like because I was just so more concerned about like keeping the house clean. I want her to know from a very young age that, you know, mum kept the house very clean and tidy for me and all that kind of stuff. That like I just, the old routine of mine just snuck back in. So when she was sleeping, doing all that kind of stuff, and I kind of forgot about myself. So I wasn't eating, hardly really drinking any fluids and stuff like that. It was just mainly focus on Harper, knowing what she needs, making sure that all her washing, all her bottles are sterilized, bottles are prepped, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And I literally just forgot about me. Like, I wouldn't even shower for maybe the day, or wait until maybe Ashley comes home and then shower and stuff. Yeah, because I didn't want to feel like I was leaving her. Even though I'm cleaning, like, she's only in the next room or she's in the same room and stuff like that. So we're talking together, have little conversations and stuff, but I didn't feel like it was really good enough. Like, even like the skin to was it skin to skin? Yeah, skin to skin bond. It took me a very long time to do so. And even when it did happen, like, my partner used to do it all the time. Like, he used to do it all the time. But with me, I was just like, oh no. And that's when I started thinking to myself, like, damn, is this a bit of postnatal? But this time I wasn't still telling anyone. I was just persevering, doing what I needed to do for the sake of Harps, eating what I can. And then I turned around and said to a couple of people and stuff that obviously I know that I wasn't really eating as much. So we'll go out and buy like ready meals just to force myself to eat, because cooking, I just felt like as soon as you make something and you sit down to eat, that's when they wake up and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna eat that later. And then later never comes. 4 hours, 5 hours, like, it's literally that. And when having a baby, your day structure changes. You're working on hours, so you forget what day of the week it is, you forget what's happening, you forget everything. And literally it was just like, right, living my life like, okay, in 3 hours she's gonna get up, in an hour's time she's due for a feed, and in that time as well, the milk that she was on, she had a lot of like colic. So quite worried about that and stuff. So she was up crying quite through the night and stuff like that. And I tried breastfeeding and stuff, but then my milk dried up. So I felt really, you know, felt really guilty on that, because obviously, like, they keep saying breast is best, and I really did try, but my milk wasn't really giving. So that obviously made me feel like a really shit mom. Excuse my language, but it made me really feel like a really rubbish person. And then her getting the colic is because she's on formula, because I couldn't obviously express and stuff. So seeing her crying in pain, that obviously had me in tears. But when you have a baby, you know, when you're pregnant, they turn around and say, don't get upset because the baby can feel it, you know, don't do this because, you know, the baby can sense it and stuff. So you just have to hold your emotions, take some woosahs and all that kind of stuff, and whatever, deep breaths and stuff. And now you have the baby, they say, well, don't cry because she can still sense it, you know, and whatever. So it's just like, well, what am I meant to do with my feelings and emotion? Like, I am a human being, but like, you know, what am I meant to do? So I would cry about that. Went to the doctors to go and seek help about the milk. Then it was just like, it's not the milk, all babies go through it. And it's just like, when you're going to the doctors and you're telling the doctors about like X, Y, and Z. They just like, well, a person before came in and saw me about the same thing, and literally it's just that. And it's just like, well, no. So yeah, I just made the executive decision to change her milk, and she was more of a happier, cheerful baby. What's wrong with the baby? Eh? Says me change your milk. Look, you've come alive. Yeah, but it's bedtime in like 20 minutes. Yeah. Look. Say hello. Say hello. No, don't cry. Don't cry, pretty girl. And that made me really cry, because I was so happy, you know. I did something that I felt that was really, really right, and I saw the greater change in my child. So that was really good. Let's say like 6 weeks like of Harps being born, my hair dropped out, started falling out, and oh my god. And it was at the front as well, so right here. Literally, I'm using the natural spell to bring it back, and it's working slowly, and I'm very grateful for it. Yeah, that knocked me for 6, because I'm walking around with a short haircut, as you can really see, and my hair's falling out. So I'm like, oh my god. Then obviously having a baby, you've got the mum bod. So, you know, I'm a quite positive person, but I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a plus size girl, so I embrace my body the best way I can. But at that stage, where I'm dealing with, like, you know, I forgot about myself, everything, making sure that everything is there for my daughter, you know, our daughter, all that kind of stuff. I've forgotten about me. I don't know how to dress. The stuff that I was wearing while I was pregnant, I'm still wearing it. My dress code, I look like Boo Boo the clown, mate, because I was wearing so much colours I didn't really care. As long as my daughter's fine, she's tidy, she's neat, she's got this, she's got that, that's all what cared. I didn't care about how I looked, to be honest with you. As long as I'm showered and the foot is creamed, because sometimes my foot is ashy. People that know, yeah. Basically it was that. So that obviously accumulated to the bit of the postnatal depression, because I just felt like I'm really losing myself, and I felt like if I say something, like I'm failing. I'm failing as a mom. Like, I'm trying my best, you know, and I'm failing for my daughter. Like, what? And I didn't say anything to no one. I just put a, you know, a brave face on and just got on with it and did what I needed to do, because obviously for so many moms, you can't cry, you can't do this, you can't do that. And obviously now she's here, you can't do this, you can't do that, so you just, you know, you sail through. So I just felt like I was like in a catch-22 in a sense, you know. On the Sunday, like, I came home and Ashley was here that day as well, and I just came out of the shower and he was like, "You right?" And I said, "Yeah." And I just started crying. And he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I just like, "I think I've got postnatal depression." And he was just like, "It's okay, like, it's all right." But I said, "I'm scared because I don't want anyone to take away our daughter, because I don't want them to feel like I failed because of me having postnatal depression." And he was just like, "No, it's not like that, Shan." I said, "I hope not, because like, I'm scared, because I don't want Harper growing up thinking that, oh, mum had postnatal depression." Like I said, I'm a proper deep thinker, and I sometimes go the extreme. And basically that's where my head went. And I know some people that deal with postnatal depression obviously sometimes think like that as well. And like I said, I suffer from anxiety, so oh god, those two mixed together was like a chemical eruption, mate. And that night I erupted, and so I was crying, and it was just like, I think I was crying because I was actually admitting it now. So many mums dealing with it and stuff, I didn't know. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know where to go. I didn't want my daughter to be taken away from us. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I didn't want my daughter feeling like I'm failing. And then you have, with all of that, you have the mix of the mum guilt. I was scared. I didn't want to take her out because she didn't have any immunizations. I didn't, like, good, like, really good friends and stuff like that. They wanted to come and visit, and I was a bit like reluctant to, but it wasn't me just trying to be a diva. I was just like, you know, she's so precious, she's just so new. You have all these like viruses out there, all these diseases and stuff. I just don't want her to get mixed up in the wrong set of people, and then someone comes to me and say, sorry, I couldn't live with that, and I can't look at that person's face again. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. So yeah, it was all of that eating me up and stuff. Eventually we started taking her out before she had an immunization, and what I mean, I was so quiet. The bit of her car seat was down, no one could touch her, like look at her. I was just like, no. Yeah, it was mad, like it really was. And all I really wanted to do is just go there and back home, there and back home. That was it. I didn't want to go anywhere else. Literally, we came to this one shop we shall go, and right back there. So it was literally like that. And then I spoke to like a really good friend, and I said to him, like, this is what I'm dealing with, because like he works in health, so he has a understanding and stuff and how to go about it. Now don't get twisted, I spoke to like my mom's like my best friend, honestly. I speak to her every day and stuff, and I told her, and everyone that I spoke to, even my partner's mom and stuff like that, been very supportive and stuff. I can't even fault them. Like everyone that's told that what I'm dealing with has been so supportive. Like honestly, big up your blood clot self. So yeah, and they was just like, no Shan, it's not like that. My friend turned around and said, Shan, are you actually gonna hurt her? And I said, no, I wouldn't. She's so precious to me. Like I wouldn't. They said, exactly, you know, they're not gonna take you away, you know what I mean, if you're not gonna cause her any harm. It's much deeper than that, you know. So I just said, yeah, okay, cool. Trying to call the GP now to try and get that appointment. Oh, if you know about the GP surgeries, you know what I'm talking about. It was a joke. So I finally admitted to myself and to others, because you know that's a big step in itself, you know. Like I said, so many months holding it in, calling the GP. I was on the phone for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Got through, spoke to the receptionist. I said, listen, I'm dealing with postnatal depression and I don't know what to do. Yeah, I just want some help. I just really need some help, some advice, yeah, and stuff. They said, I'm so sorry, we can't help you. We've got no appointments, basically. You got to call back tomorrow, come here at 8 o'clock. Well, you know, call at 8 o'clock. I said, excuse me, it's only after 9. I've been on, well, it was at 9 when I called. It's after 10 now. I've been on the phone after an hour, on the phone for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and before that I called at 8 and the phone was engaged. I couldn't even get through. So what am I meant to do? There was just like, oh, you can speak to eConsult. Oh, so I was mad. I was so mad. I said, give me the thing. Yeah, she sent it to my phone, then tried to do it. It's saying it's fully booked for the day. What? So now I'm like, not trying to cry because Harps is there and she's gone to work. So I'm just like really like cheesed up, because I figured to myself, raw, like, where's the care? Do you know what I mean? Where is the care? Anyway, now brace, you know, you got to build yourself up to call the GP another time. I spoke to the person and I said, listen, I'm dealing with this, like, I need some help. Yeah, I need some help. She said, oh, there's no appointments today. I said, listen, love, yeah, I need some help. Yeah, I need some help. Yeah. And she was just like, right, look, let me speak to someone. And came back So then this time she was just like, I'm so sorry. I said, listen, sorry ain't gonna cut it, darling, yeah? Woman to woman, yeah? I need some help, yeah? And I'm not getting off this phone until I get some help. I'm sorry, but, you know, X, Y, Z. And at this time, Harper started crying on the phone because, you know, just babies just crying for the sake of it. So I think in that sense, it kind of helped my little case. So then she was just like, look, all right, okay. All of a sudden, this appointment came from nowhere. She was just like, look, there's an appointment in 20 minutes. Could you get here? I said, I'll be there. I'll be there, yeah? Went to the appointment now. Told the doctor how I was feeling. I was in the room for 5 minutes. So, 5 minutes, yeah, it could have been an easy telephone call or whatever. There was nothing. 5 minutes I was in the room, and they referred me to like the mental health like nurse. And so it was in like, my appointment was in like a couple of weeks and stuff, so I was very anxious. And then getting closer and closer to the appointment, I got really quiet. I got like really into myself. But then, because I didn't know how it was gonna be and stuff. I know someone that's actually been to see that same nurse, and they said, no, he's really nice, he's really nice, and he genuinely was a really nice guy. I opened up to him, told him how I was feeling, and I just said, she's so precious that I'm actually like scared. Do you know what I mean? Because she's so precious. I waited such a long time for her. Like, it was very like touch and go at some stages, and do you know what I mean? And so her being here, I'm just so blessed. Do you know what I mean? So blessed. So that's why she's extra precious to me, you know. Anyway, he was just like asking me questions and stuff, and I answered them. And then he was just like, look, talking to, I said, look, I've got a great support network. I'm very blessed to have that, you know. I've got like people that live not that far away from me, and I speak to them all the time. I try and keep myself busy. I literally sign her up for like swimming, massage lessons and stuff, and I attend them every week without fail. I go there with my partner, sometimes without my partner, and you know, we have a whale of a time, the three of us, or sometimes just the two of us, you know. So I don't want her to see me crying every 5 minutes. Like, I went to the travel agents with like my mum and my sister, and I was there booking to like just to go to a holiday, obviously, that's why you're there. And literally at the end I just started crying. My mum was like, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know, Mum, I don't know. So my mum, obviously, she was obviously worried, but she tried to put the brave face on for us, and stuff. So yeah, it was hard. Like, it was genuinely hard. Like, obviously Ashley was obviously worried about me. Everyone was worried, you know. But I felt like for me, it was just like the biggest thing is that I've admitted it, and I want that help. I'm seeking that help, you know. The worst thing is, for me personally, if I didn't seek that help, could I be worse down the line? Because I've held it in, like I said, held it in for such a long time, and I'm thinking, oh, today's the right day. You know what I mean? Today's not a bad day. And in other days when it's so like bad, like, you know, I was anxious, I was nervous, I was worried. So cut a long story short now, speaking to the nurse guy came in and said, La, it seems like you're working through your postnatal depression, which is really good, because, you know, you realise your triggers and stuff like that. And each day is obviously getting a bit better. And he said, so what do you actually want out of it? I said, to be honest with you, today's a good day. Next week could be a good day. Next month could be a good month, or whatever. I mean, next week could be a good week. I don't want, you know, like a few months down the line, we're back at square one again. I just want that advice to obviously to deal with things the right way, that it doesn't have an impact on my daughter and, you know, with my close knit circle. And he said, you know, that's really good. That's really good of you. So he gave me a couple of groups. places that I can refer myself to, and places that if I wanted to be referred to, he would do so. And he said, look, have a think about it. I'm going to book you another appointment to come in on the 3rd of July, which is obviously approaching on us, and just to check in and see how you're doing about it. But to be honest with you, I haven't actually signed up to any of the groups, so yeah, I'm going to do that and see how it goes. Pretty much, I just want the tools, you know what I mean? Like, I just want the tools, and I just want Harper to see me in the best light possible, you know. I just want to be a great mom. That's what she deserves at the end of the day. She didn't ask to be here, do you know what I mean? So I owe it to my daughter, and she deserves it, you know, for her to see the best side of me at all times. You know, we're not perfect, we're gonna get it wrong, you know, like your first time parent, you know, you're gonna, you know, and stuff. So yeah, we are getting now. We are getting now. And like, I can't say it enough. Like, I know some people out there that don't have that support and stuff, and I feel it for them, and I'm very grateful that I have got that support, do you know what I mean? So yeah, just utilizing it the best way I possibly can, you know. The main thing is to keep myself busy. The main thing is now, yes, I'm a mom. I don't think I've got OCD, personally. I just like a clean house, you know what I mean? Some days it's going to be messy, I get it. But other days I'm like, yeah, we've got to pattern up your house. Because if the house is messy, then it just makes my mind feel messy. And the things that I want to get out of the day, I can't do it because I'm spending so much time cleaning. So me spending that time cleaning, like I said, it like has a repercussion effect. Like, I don't spend enough time with maybe Harper that day and stuff, where we could be playing games and whatever, or prepping bottles while she's sleeping, or she's watching her little program, or she's just like singing la 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 to herself. But she's 4 months now, you know, so her personality is wicked. You know, really, really wicked. She's amazing. So I don't want to miss out on those things. You know, I realized my flaws that I've had, and I've sat down with my daughter and I've apologized to her. That the reason why I apologized to her, because I just felt like at the beginning, like I was there but I wasn't there. But maybe, like I said, maybe that's just me being hard on myself, because I was there every beck and call. Like, and the mum guilt situation is even worse. Even now I'm very like, oh, don't really want to leave her too much kind of thing. I feel really bad. I haven't really spent much time with her today, but in the same time I got to look at it like I keep telling myself, is that she's spending time with people that I love and adore. Do you know what I mean? So she's spending time with her nana, her granddad, her aunties, her uncles, and all that kind of stuff. And it's very important for her to have that bond, and it's very important for me to discover myself again, you know. And that's why I'm doing this. I put this off for so long because I felt like, oh, if I start doing this, I'm going to not be able to spend that time with her. But she's sleeping, so you know, she's Christy, she's fine, do you know what I mean? And she's not that far away from me. And even so, I'm, you know, being actually starting to go out and stuff, branch out just a bit further, because the first date night we was meant to go somewhere that's 40 minutes away. We went somewhere that was like 10 minutes, 20 minutes tops away, you know. And that I was like texting my mom like, she okay, she alright, blah 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 blah. We're going, literally, with cinema's day done, we're gonna go and get a milk and we're coming straight back. Do you know what I mean? And literally that was that. But now I'm being a bit more relaxed about it and looking at it as she's spending time with her grandparents, she's spending time with her cousins, she's you know, the good things that I'm getting to see on a day-to-day basis and stuff, they're getting to see it, you know. So yeah, I'm just trying not to let this mum guilt like eat me up so much, because I'm working on it now because I'm on maternity leave. What am I going to do when I go back to work? I'm going to be in bits, mate. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. But I got to work on this now. Because if I don't know if I'll have a job, babe. I don't even know. I may have to just call in sick every day, which is not good. So I see my flaws now, and I'm working on it. And like I would say to any mothers out there, or fathers that are going out there as well, that are going through something the same, like literally seek that help. And if you've got supportive people in your corner, utilize them. Do you know what I mean? They're never gonna feel like, because at one stage I felt like I'm putting that burden on my mom and other people. My daughter's not a burden. Do you know what I mean? She's a blessing. You know what I mean? If they want to spend time with her, they will say. Do you know what I mean? Or they probably just come to your house and just take your child. Do you know what I mean? But we'll be back in a couple of hours. You know? So be grateful for that. But there's some people out there that are not as blessed as what we are. So what we do have in our corner, utilize it to the fullest extent. So yeah, what I will do in my description box, I will actually put some of the groups that he's actually gave me. And obviously if you find this video useful, and obviously if you find the groups obviously great for yourself as well, try it, you know. And I want to look back also doing this. I want to look back and see the growth of where I was now, and in 6 months, like, you know what I mean? I've seen my growth. I've seen, you know, my flaws, and how to, you know, be the better person for myself. Because it's very true. It's very important. We're parents, or soon to be parent. But you are a person as well. You do exist. So the person that you was before, you know, that used to go out, maybe go and get a cup of tea, go for walks and stuff like that and whatever, you can do it with your child, and you can do it by yourself. That's, you know, if it's possible, you know. So yeah. Whew, it's a long one, but it's a good one. But guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. Stay tuned for what I've got in store for you, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.